For 30 years, I believed I was a husband and a father. I gave my wife my loyalty, my children my heart, and my family everything I had. But then one DNA test shattered it all, revealing not only my wife's decades of betrayal but that the children I raised and loved were never mine. Welcome to English Stories with Sherry. Grab a cozy seat and let's journey through magical tales, classic stories, and everyday adventures all in English. Learning the language has never been this fun. It began with something small. My youngest daughter was applying for university, and the paperwork required medical history. Nothing unusual, right? But when I saw the forms, I noticed details that didn't line up with my family history. We'd always been honest about health issues, heart disease, diabetes, certain risks that ran in my side of the family. But when the doctor reviewed her paperwork, he looked confused. He said, "Are you sure these are your biological kids?" I laughed it off. Of course, they were. I had raised them since birth. But a seed of doubt planted itself that day. I told myself I was being paranoid. But little cracks started appearing everywhere. One of my sons had features that never really matched mine or my wife's side of the family. A certain smile, a look in his eyes, I had always brushed it off. But now, with the doctor's words echoing in my mind, I couldn't ignore it anymore. I decided to do something I never thought I'd do. I ordered a DNA test. Just to silence the doubt. Just to put my mind at ease. When the results came back, my entire world collapsed. Not one. Not two. But all three children, the ones I had raised, taught, fed, protected, and loved for 30 years, were not biologically mine. I can't even describe the feeling in that moment. Shock. Anger. Heartbreak. Nausea. It was as if the last 3 decades of my life had been a lie. I looked at the results again and again, hoping it was a mistake. But it wasn't. The science was clear. My wife, the woman I had loved faithfully, had betrayed me, not once, but repeatedly. And suddenly, so many moments from the past came flooding back with new meaning. The unexplained business trips. The girl nights that didn't add up. The way she'd sometimes avoid eye contact when certain topics came up. For years, she had hidden the truth. For years, she let me believe I was their father. I confronted her one evening. I laid the DNA test results on the table and asked her to explain. At first, she denied everything. She said it was a mistake, that the test couldn't be right. But when I pressed harder, she broke. Tears streamed down her face as she admitted the truth. She had been having an affair since the early years of our marriage. Not with one man but with more than one. And she had always known there was a chance the kids weren't mine. But instead of telling me, she let me raise them. She let me pour my soul, my time, my money, my entire being into a family built on lies. I felt like I couldn't breathe. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it would explode. I wanted to scream, to rage, to break everything in sight. But I didn't. Instead, I walked out. I needed space. For days, I didn't come home. I stayed in a hotel, trying to process everything. 30 years of love, loyalty, and sacrifice gone. Stolen. And the cruelest part? I still loved those kids. They weren't mine by blood, but they were mine in every other way. I was torn apart. How could I reject them? How could I accept them? When I finally came back home, my wife begged for forgiveness. She claimed the affairs were mistakes. She said the children didn't know, that they saw me as their only father. But the truth is, forgiveness was impossible. The betrayal was too deep. She hadn't lied once. She had lied every single day for 30 years. Every birthday, every anniversary, every Christmas, every moment we shared as a family was tainted by deceit. I told her it was over. I filed for divorce immediately. The hardest part wasn't leaving her. It was facing the kids. They were grown by then, in their 20s. I sat them down and told them everything. The silence in the room was suffocating. At first, they didn't believe it. Then came the tears, the questions, the anger not at me, but at her. They had been lied to just as much as I had. For years, they thought I was their real father. For years, she robbed them of their truth. Despite the DNA test, they all told me the same thing: you are our dad. Nothing changes that. And while I'll never forget the betrayal, I also can't erase 30 years of memories. To me, they are still my children. No test can take away the years I spent raising them. As for my wife, or should I say my ex-wife, she tried to hold on to her reputation. She tried to paint me as cruel, as someone who abandoned the family. But the truth always finds its way out. Once people knew what she had done, the sympathy disappeared. Friends distanced themselves. Family turned cold. She destroyed everything with her lies, and now she has to live with the consequences. Looking back, the pain was unbearable, but it also gave me clarity. Here's what I've learned. 1. Secrets always surface. No matter how long it takes, the truth will always come out. 2. Blood doesn't define family. Love, sacrifice, and presence do. DNA may say one thing, but 30 years of being a father is something no test can erase. 3. Never ignore your gut. The small signs, the little inconsistencies, they matter. If something feels off, don't sweep it under the rug. 4. You can survive betrayal. Even when the truth shatters everything, you can rebuild. It's been some time since the divorce. Life isn't easy, but it's better. I've started focusing on myself, on rediscovering who I am outside of that toxic marriage. The bond with my kids remains strong. They call me dad, and I still show up for them, because biology doesn't erase 30 years of love. As for her, she lost everything. The marriage. The respect. The trust. The family she thought she controlled. And in the end, I realized something powerful. She may have stolen my truth for 30 years, but she didn't steal my heart. Because the love I gave, the life I built for my children, that was real. That can never be erased. So yes, my life was built on 30 years of lies. But the man I became through it all, the father I chose to be, and the truth I stand on now, that's mine. Thanks for listening to English Stories with Sherry. If you enjoyed today's tale, like, subscribe, and share with a friend learning English. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep learning, and keep listening.